and 2 and a 1. And that microphone is really far away. Hello. That was really loud. All right. What's going on, guys? Got to start out with a burp. So it's a Shoky Sunday live stream, and going very early. And a lot of you will be like, "Wait, why is it so early? Normally you go at 8 o'clock." Because I wanted to, you dingus. And because there's more Ecto 1 to do. So I finished the live stream yesterday. I even talk about the fact that I ran the tracking in the live stream. I do a couple other things, maybe about an hour or so after the live stream's over. I want to run to the corner store, get something to drink, and things like that. And I literally walk out to the next box sitting on my doorstep. Like, what the hell? And I will say, in comparison, this is a heavy box. The last one, the one we just did yesterday, was not heavy. So I'm going to open this up real quick. And while I'm doing that, nobody's shown up just yet. I guess there's some other guy here.
Hi.
So he showed up. I'm like, hey, if you want to join in later, you can. He's like, okay. I send him a link. He shows up immediately. I was like, okay, didn't have much to do. So
I can be prompt if I want to.
Yeah, well, I just never know when you guys are doing dinner. And plus, this way, we don't have to go to like 10 o'clock or something. Okay, how about I not show that on camera? I thought I was holding it the other way. Oh, we got people. We got Rantzilla, we got Thomas Nguyen, and Daniel Neagle. What's up? So I've got some air bubbles. Save your life. Non-potable air. Look at it. You might need to turn me down just a hair.
Oh.
It's like as far away as my microphone is, I can hear myself. Okay, so this has premium surcharge for some reason. Mag Ghostbusters build up 11 through 14, so that's the magazine that comes with all of them. And then 11, 13, 14, and 12. Because heaven forbid they put them in numerical order. Oh, but I like this. They actually broke down how much they cost each. That's the first time I've seen that. So each part costs $10.90. And there's a $1 premium surcharge, whatever that is. So in theory, there's a premium thing in here, but I don't think so. Oh, you know what? There is a big part. So, all right. So we got part 11 is some more accessories and stuff like that. So that's
cool. More engine stuff.
Yeah, this is all engine stuff. Oh, well, it's engine and then suspension. So that's the newest thing. We got Mr. Aguilar. What's up, Eric? Oh, they did all blue wires. That's interesting. They got black hoses for other things and blue wires. Look. So blue wires for all the things. So blue translucent wires for everything.
You're going to have to paint those or something?
No, just leave them blue. It's cool. But the thing is, with them being translucent, they'll catch the light. So they'll actually stand out in the engine bay. That's pretty neat. I like the radiator hoses. That's cool. There's a radiator fan. A couple small screws there. EPs. Okay. We can only get one more unique type of screw set right now. I don't have any more space in my pill holder. Oh, okay. This is what. Now I discovered what's getting heavy. So here's the first chunk of front suspension and brakes. Look at this.
Good night.
So in theory, we might be able to mount the wheel.
That spring is huge.
Yeah, I bet it's pretty springy too. Either that or just wire. Actually, you know what? It looks like just coiled wire. Like I can see it. Like it's just a normal, probably solid core, so it holds a bit more. Wow, there's the torsion bar for like the front steering right there. That's what that long straight one is. That's part of the steering rack.
Yeah, because you said this thing, it's designed like if you turn the steering wheel in the on the driver's side, it actually turns the wheels.
Ah, crap. This is almost nothing but new screws.
Oh, no.
JM, IM, HM, KM. Well, it just depends. If we only get the engine and then the engine cradle done, then we'll just call it at that, and I don't have to do the wheel and stuff yet. But this is why it's so heavy. That clearly the picture didn't exactly let me know how big the engine cradle was. I can't tell if it's plastic or not. I think it is, but it's so heavy it feels like die-cast. Like, look at this. I have to wait to get it out to find out if it's actually metal or not. But yeah, this is the engine cradle. Look. So it'll bolt up to the bottom of the car this way. If I had to,
it's like every time I look at this stuff and I go, it's like, man, this thing is big. It just finds some other way to prove it's like, oh yeah, this thing is going to be freaking huge.
Yeah, it's not until we get to like the real frame. You got to think if it has an actual frame, this might be the only frame it has. It might just be a subframe, and then the rest of it's a unibody, because some things were, especially given it's a large ambulance body. So it's possible the rest of it is just a big, honking thing. And this might be the only subframe for the engine and all that. Now I got to wonder if it gets me to the point of mounting the bumper with this, because these are maybe not, because these are, I would think, the spring seats. That's what that looks like. And then that's a
I don't know anything about cars, so
I know you don't. It's crazy. So here's the instructions. Very thick piece. But yeah, so if you look at that, it's very misleading. You're like, oh, that's not that big. It's like, oh yeah, that's freaking huge. It's
items
huge.
may not be to scale on chart.
Yeah. It's huge. Okay, Kyle Rayner says you have a very cool shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Kyle Rayner has a really cool name. That's my favorite Green Lantern.
Yeah. Anyways. By the end of this thing, you should be able to use a dropper bottle of fuel and start the damn thing. If it had real internals to the engine, which it clearly does not, which makes me a little sad. I was like, come on. It's like, we're going to go this far. Okay, so presumably that's number 14. Number 12 is the next part. Oh, what are you working on, by the way, since you're working on things?
I am working on one of my Father's Day kits, the Zagok E or Experiment or whatever the heck it's called.
It's the Zagok.
Zagok.
Got the extra E on it. So that's cool. And before we really get into anything, what do people need to do on your channel right now? Do they need to go
subscribe to my channel and subscribe twice to your second channel, so that way it counteracts it.
Go subscribe twice to the Shoky Reviews 2 channel. I'm back up to 197. I keep going 196, 197, 196, 197, 196, 197. I can't even break 200. I'm very upset about that. We have to beat him, guys. He's got to be up to like 217 or something by now.
Last I checked, it was like 210 or something like
210. 210. We have to beat him. All right, so for right now, I'm just gonna open this. Do you got anything? Shut up, phone, computer. Do you have anything cool coming up this week that we need to look at?
Let's see.
Get the promos out of the way now, because nobody will be here at the end.
Gotcha. Let's see. Last week I had the review on this guy.
Oh yeah, the LBX.
It was really cool.
Little better.
And what was that? I had a Transformers review, didn't I? Was it Hotlink? Or was it somebody, or did I do something else?
No, you didn't do a Hotlink. I would remember that. I don't think you did anything else. Did you not? I don't recall another review on your channel this week. Oh, you did the what I got for Father's Day. You did the what I got for Father's Day.
That's right. Yeah.
I already knew what you got for Father's Day, so I didn't watch that video. It happened
Which, by
somewhere.
the way, you guys should check out that live stream if you haven't already. It's recorded on Shoky's channel over here, and watch the unboxing of my Father's Day gifts.
Surprisingly, not that many views on that one. Obviously, people are a bit depressed that we're not reviewing Re-Rise. Not that we can. Soon, 2 weeks.
We would if we could.
2 weeks or so, we will get back to our regularly scheduled program. Literally. So yay, we'll get back to some normalcy finally, and I know you guys will be happy about that. So will we. And then on my channel, I had a couple things, mostly Rat Trap. The Rat Trap review went up. People seem to like that more than a Black Arachnia. like by a long shot. I guess seemingly nobody watched the Black Arachnia review. Even people went to go watch the quote unquote Taro video on the secondary channel. So, guys, I'm putting up the reverse transformation videos on the secondary channel. So, if you're interested in transforming things, that's where those will be as well. Also, if you want to check out my music reviews that I've been doing over there under the new title of It Doesn't Have to Make Sense, it's a new series that I'm working on. So I'm sharing some of the music and other things that I'm watching on YouTube or listening to over there. I've got 2 videos up that went pretty well. And I'm going to do a behind the scenes video on those 2 in particular because they were a ton of work for a totally stupid reason. But there's some really cool music involved over there. As for this week, I will have the Master Grade Monday update. I just shot it prior to doing this, so I'll edit it when we're done. I have a vlog going up over my activities today because there has been a slight change in the Shoky cave. Not as big a change as I would have liked, but you have to watch the vlog to find out what I'm talking about. Although now I'm seeing it's something I need to do that I wasn't planning on doing, but I think I'll have to do that. I don't know what else will be up on this channel. I will have some secondary stuff going up. I guess tomorrow I can start shooting the 52 Toys videos. And if you are already a Patroneer, you will be seeing a whole lot of out-the-box reviews this week because I shot a bunch of them and forgot to start posting them. So Patroneers will get to see those videos. If you are interested in seeing my initial out-of-the-box reaction to a lot of things, and maybe even some behind-the-scenes stuff of things that I'm currently building or things that I will be building that nobody else gets to know about, go check out the Patreon. Or just be a good friend, because I usually tell you anyways. And by all means, go buy. Yeah, you're a Patreon supporter and a Shoky family member, as it were. Okay, so let me redistribute these screws, and I got to move the camera. Yay for that. So here's the origami I have to pull. Camera has to come up and under the microphone like that, and then be repositioned in which you can see the table. And I'm also working under a very different situation here because you have half the screen.
And I'm gonna see if I can readjust my camera without it falling over.
Yep. Hey, Eric, if you're building, you want to join in? Just turn it into a build night. And of course, guys, in the chat, if you got any questions that you want us to answer, by all means, ask. We have plenty of time. And there might be some changes coming for any of the discordant ones. Look, there has been a proposed plan to make changes to the Discord that may or may not be for the benefit of everyone. I don't know yet. Actually, since you're one of my moderators, so to speak, I might send it to you to see what you think.
Okie dokie. Not that I hardly go on to Discord much, but
no, you don't, but that's okay. Okay, so we're going to be building power steering pump and pulley assembly. Super important stuff here. I don't know how many people are actually enjoying these build things. I do. Like I've stopped watching other people doing it because I want to experience it for myself. Like Emgo usually gets to it before I do. Adam Savage is like way ahead. Like I'm still trying to figure out how he got the electronics first.
Because he's Adam Savage, and he probably was like, "Can I please get the electronics?" And they're like, "Okay, anything for you."
I mean, I feel like Adam got the entire kit, like already, and he's just building it as he goes. But I could be wrong.
It feels like that because I remember him talking about like he had boxes and had to make special containers and stuff like that to house all the parts.
It's possible. I'm trying to find my mid-range here for my camera. Okay. Okay, I got some BPs here, some blood pressures. There we go. Speaking of which, I don't know if it's just been the weather or what. I have not felt good lately. I told you this a few times the past week. I'm feeling much better now, but like this morning was still kind of rough. I don't know about you and yours, if you guys have felt any ill effects to the current weather.
I know Joan isn't feeling super great today, but I don't think that's necessarily connected to the weather.
Nah.
Um,
Ooh, that's like an alignment dowel. I like
but
that.
I know, like, last few days on and off, I've been having fun sinus weather pressure headaches and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not
Well,
supposed to cut that part out.
Friday, I believe, was our big dust day. So you might have felt a lot on Friday. How much of the movie did you miss? All you missed was me opening a box and then us getting started, Steve. Is she on the phone? Sounds like she's on the phone. Yeah. So apparently our upstairs neighbors had their baby. So she was
Okay.
like super pregnant. But I noticed that yesterday they were significantly not around, which is very unlike them. So congrats to the King family upstairs on their new baby. Sure, that will have no bearing on my life for the next year. Because they already have a 2-year-old. Okay, let's see here. This is interesting. Okay, how does that align? Ah, there's the dowel. Okay. And I did go toy hunting yesterday for the first time in a while, like legit hunting, because the new movie Ninja Turtle set is supposedly out or coming. Oh, wow, this actually has the part stamped on it. Interesting. Part number is stamped on it. Huh. Have the... No, there's no way these have been that way, and I haven't noticed until now. So I missed the plot point. Damn, how do I rewind this thing? You can't. Okay, yeah, so look, this actually says, there's no way you're going to be able to see it. This one says 11E stamped on the part, and this one says 11F stamped on the part. That's interesting. That's the first time I've seen that.
Can you still hear me or anything?
Yeah, why?
Because my screen is frozen on my end.
Oh, no, I can hear you. You're still fine.
I guess I'll just leave it for right now.
Yeah, probably.
Just shoot me a message if I suddenly disappear or something, I guess.
Probably a Wi-Fi hiccup.
Something.
Okay, so this has to. Oh, they sent you. It's something I discovered yesterday while doing this. You sandwich the pulleys, like to actually get. So that means there's going to be like a timing belt on this, or a accessory belt.
I was wondering about that too when I was watching.
Oh,
your
maybe
build
that's what
yesterday.
maybe that's what the really long one is. Because I've got all the stuff here for that, so maybe that's what the really long hose is, so to speak.
But the amount of detail they're doing on this, I'm surprised it didn't have like functioning pistons or something.
Yeah, well, if you look at it here, oh, you know what? They're bands. Yeah, look. Oh, camera's over here. These are actually rubber bands. So yeah, that's what that is. Cool. I was just thinking about that. It's like, I've got essentially almost functioning pulleys, so to speak. Okay, so this must be for alignment, and then that's another screw hole for where it mounts. Interesting. Okay, cap. I need the cap here. Where's my tweezers? Oh yeah, by the way, I never did find my other tweezers when I was looking for them. They got to be here somewhere. Oh, that's not the cap, is it? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. That's interesting. It looks like a radiator cap. Is it just squeeze fit? Looks like. Yeah. Yeah, I still think I'm gonna go over it at some point and like dry brush some stuff. Like that cap could easily be painted metal colored. Okie dokie. Oh, I had a whole other set of screws.
It's the engine just begging to be grimed up.
True that. Okay, so I've only got room for this last set of screws. So these are GM screws. There's only 2 of them so far. But okay, so when I'm talking about not feeling good, here's one of the weird things that I've been experiencing. And I've checked, I don't have a fever, I don't have a cough. I just kind of feel cruddy, just feel run down and cruddy. My face and my head just kind of feel hot, almost like I'm having a hot flash. But like, take my temperature, it's actually a little bit low. You know, it's a really strange sensation. I don't even know how to describe it.
Interestingly enough, that sounds similar to some stuff that my wife has been experiencing.
That's what I'm getting at. It's like it's got to be whatever's in the air. It has to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just some other bug that just happens to be going around.
But that's like all I've got. I've got like a lot of pressure behind my eyes, behind my sinuses, some congestion, no cough or anything like that, except for when I'm, trying to hawk up, some stuff. So, and, Miss Shoky is in a very similar situation as well. So, yeah, it's just got to be whatever is in the air.
Crud is in the air.
Crud is in the air. Okay, that is a very long screw for this purpose. Okay. So this is interesting, like the way this has to tab in, because this bracket sticks out and the one below it doesn't have it. There's actually a thicker piece on the backside. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, she's definitely on the phone. I can hear her. Tell her, hey, shut up.
Yeah, I'm sure that would go over real well.
It always does. So yesterday she got to go and search for new scrubs. Had to special order some because like she has a wonky size, being a short, round woman.
Yep, I'm familiar with that kind of stuff with my wife as well.
I'm glad you finished that sentence.
Yep, I realized how that was going to sound. I was like, okay.
I was waiting for the setup. I was going to let that slide if you just drop it. Anyway, so she did that, and then she went with one of her coworkers. That she rarely gets to hang out with her coworkers, so that was kind of cool. And it's one of her only like long-standing coworkers who's still around. Oh wow! Even this bracket for the power steering pump is die-cast, so that's kind of cool. So they go and do that, and then she goes back to their place after the fact, and like they go ride like little Honda like scooters, like like little mini motorcycles, kind of.
Okay.
And then they run down to the local ponds because the neighborhood they're in has like 6 or 7 good-sized ponds, and they went fishing. And I'm like, hey, thanks for the call. So while I was here live streaming, that's what she was doing. She's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know we were going to do that. I was like, I bet you didn't. It's like, no, I'm a tiny. I don't even know the last time I went fishing. It is an enjoyable pastime. It was a hot as hell day though. So I mean, like, what do you do? Okay, so this guy's got to go here, and then this has to clear the spark plug on this side. Maybe I should pull out those spark plugs and paint them now, like, or at least this side. Let's see, do they come out
before you get too far along?
Okay, they pull out easy enough because I could paint them real quick. I could just give them a quick once over with some Gundam marker, and I'll be happy. Assuming it won't eat this plastic. But this bracket is like right next to the spark plug, so it's kind of like I might want to do that now. I need a Gundam marker, a white one. I got one right here. And then I need a silver one. Do I even have a silver one anymore? You guys are going to be like, oh, I still use this Gundam markers. I have a buttload of them. I'm going to use them.
What's wrong with Gundam markers?
I don't know. People still shit on them for some reason. Actually, I totally need to clean my brushes that are laying here. Okay, is this... Okay, there's still some silver in that one, and I know there's silver in this one, so that's good. I don't even know if we're going to be able to see me do this, to be totally honest, because they're so small. Somebody just got
video came back
on his phone. My ears, they're buzzing.
The Gasolcast apparently is doing the live.
Oh, yeah. This is why I always feel bad, because they always go live on Sunday while I'm going live. Guys, I can't hang out and watch your stuff. I'm busy doing my own. I saw like a couple of things. They're supposed to have an interview either tonight or tomorrow. I forget which day it was. Let's see here.
Interview was what they were saying, what the thing said.
Okay, well, that's the thing I saw. So I don't know about you, but whenever I'm using some of these guys, I use these little disposable cups, and I just like squidge out some of the paint that I need. So this one will be silver. I guess this is a how, so to speak. How to use some Gundam marker.
This is what I've been using for paint.
Okay,
yeah,
that should be more than enough for what I want to do.
Blue Willow China that we don't care about anymore because we got the Disasterware stuff.
Yeah. Wait, that's not the one that got broken, right? Or is that what's left over? That's the one that got broken a couple times.
No, that's just, it was one of the small bowls and we weren't using it for anything, so I latched onto it before we basically packaged up all the Blue Willow.
I got you.
I also have a little cup that I use for water and stuff like that for I think I was using that when I was playing around with different things to do with the weathering powders, trying to make sort of like a watered down paint like thing.
Oh yeah.
That was with the my ball and cup. Which one of these days I need to do all the finishing on that.
Oh, you've never done the finish work on that?
I mean, technically it's like, yeah, I could consider it finished, but I don't like have any of the decals on it that I was thinking about putting on, and I don't think it has its final top coat.
It hasn't reached its final form yet. Not even in it.
This isn't even my final form.
Whatever, Freezer. Freezer. Just get a little silver. These guys here. A little more work than I was anticipating doing, but screw it. Do it now. Do it now.
Do it. Do it now.
Gonna get us copyrighted.
It's funny, during your last stream you made a song reference. I'm blanking on what it was now, but I just remember like just before you made it, I had the exact same song pop into my head. It was kind of weird.
That's called a setup.
Hey. 21 and 22.
Being the fawns all of a sudden.
Hey. Runner A.
Oh, hey, paint cup. Let's not do that.
Not hey, A.
Hey, paint cup. How about your knock get spilled over? Sorry, I'm culturally appropriating whatever the hell that accent is. Jersey. It's a Jersey accent, I think. Okay, so let's scooch that over. Why is my phone buzzing now? Oh, PewDiePie. Of course. PewDiePie.
What is the PewDiePie up to?
Not much. Due to quarantine being reenacted in the UK, they have to be at a different house now. Seems strange. Like, I guess, like they're supposed to have been moving to Japan, but obviously, due to the world being the way it is, they can't. So they have
moving to Japan.
Yeah, they want to move to Japan. They bought a house there last year, and in fact, they've shipped most of their stuff to Japan.
Oh no!
So the world kind of went into lockdown, and they were supposed to be moving. So they're kind of minimalist right now.
Does he still have his chair at least?
Yes. So like he just got a new desk finally. So he's been on the floor for like because his IKEA desk, like he had one of the motorized ones that goes up and down. Apparently his desk decided to shit itself. And
oh no.
It broke, is what I'm getting at. And then he had to get a new one. And when he finally did, Marcia liked it so much she ended up taking it. So he's like, I got a new desk. So they had to wait for another one. So it took him almost 6 weeks to get the first one. And then they got the second one, and he finally got his room back together for like a day, maybe two. And now that he's got his exclusive YouTube live stream contract, he's been streaming every day, especially since The Last of Us 2 came
out. So he's got big YouTube money coming in.
Oh yeah. So after YouTube kicked him to the curb a couple of years ago with his controversial everything, now they're like, okay, we need our number one subscribed individual to be a giant money draw. So we're going to do a specific live stream. So they had to wait till his other live stream contract ended. I forgot what the name of that company was. It was one of these other live things. It wasn't Twitch. So that's where he was doing live streams for like a year.
Mixer?
No, I really don't.
Was he on Mixer?
No, it was not on Mixer. So once that contract ended, he, was approached again by YouTube, and they're like, "Okay, we want you to come back on live stream." And the thing is, like, he gets super chats, and he has memberships now, but all of that money goes to charity. That's
pretty cool.
His normal YouTube money, he does still keep for himself, but all of that goes to charity. So every live stream, he's doing charity work. So that's cool.
A17.
And considering that his only editor, besides himself, that is, now works for Mr. Beast. He's got a lot more on his plate. So I guess Pewds is doing more live streams, so there's less editing involved. So he's still doing Loai, he's still doing meme reviews, but more seldom. Things that require a ton of editing. So he's doing those once or twice a week to get them edited out, and then live streaming the rest of the time. But he has a new subscriber war with a children's channel this time. Okay, Ben R. I'm in the process of packing up my Gunpla. It's very time consuming. Why are you packing up your Gunpla, Ben? You moving, or do you have unfortunate circumstances? I hope it's not the latter, because that would be the unfortunate part. Okay, where did my other clean brush go? So I can do the white part of the Sparkapluggos. The Sparkapluggos. Oh, you know what? I'll use the other part of my lid here as a paint tray. Hey.
You know what? I'll be right back.
Oh, crap.
I don't want to use the stupid red sticker on this thing.
He'll be back, guys.
So I'm going to just go outside and paint it real quick.
He'll be right back. I'll make him go away for
using some.
There we go. He'll be back, guys. It's okay. Don't worry. Moving to Michigan from Texas. Oh, well, that sucks. I would not move to Michigan if I could help it. Wait, where do you live in Texas? Don't tell me you're a local person and I've never known this. I'm trying to decide which PG to get myself for my B-Day, either Perfect Strike or Astray Red Frame Kai. Any opinions? I personally would say the Strike because I'm just more of a fan of it. That's all I'm going to say. Whoa, that was nasty. So this is a brand new marker, never been used, and you can tell right off the bat, even though it's a white marker, white is not the only color that's inside it. So as I said, I'm trying to get this spark plug painted up as best I can. Actually, you know what? I bet that silver needed to be a bit more than that. Actually, I'll leave that over there. I'll just grab the marker and do it over here. Come on. Live in Austin. Okay. Oh no, he's back.
Let that dry for a little bit.
So you weren't here, but Ben R is moving from Austin to Michigan. So that sucks.
Interesting.
You better stay subscribed. If you're gonna leave, you better stay subscribed. I mean, to me mostly. You can unsubscribe from Rodimus if you have to. Like I think I need like 13 of you to go unsubscribe from him.
So is the camera focused on me now?
I have no idea. I'm looking at a spark plug. Your camera has just zero focus. We're gonna have to get you a real setup one day.
No, I'm just saying, like right now it just says Rodimus 13 and it's showing my desk.
Sorry, it wasn't on. When I brought you back, sorry, I forgot I hit the solo layout button. I just determined that I needed to paint more silver. I've got both the red frame and the Kai's. So much nicer. Okay, so if somebody is asking whether or not they should get the Perfect Strike PG or the red frame Astray PG, I said Strike, but that was just my opinion.
I haven't built either of them.
I haven't built either one either.
But I would think the Perfect Grade Strike Perfect would be cool. Because
to me, it's got
all
more
the weapons.
Yeah. It's like, it's literally the perfect strike. Like, it's all the things. To me, that's worth it. Also, if you have the space for it, because that's going to be a big boy. And the PG Astray Red Frame Kai just has, like, it in the sword. There's, like, not a lot of stuff, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, if all money is equal, go for the strike. Even though I know the strike itself is an old thing, the rest of the stuff is not, from what I know. I'll stay subscribed, but the cost of living in Michigan is so much cheaper than Austin. Plus, I'm an artist. There's a very large art community where I'm moving. Okay.
Where in Michigan, if you don't mind me asking? I'm just curious because I have family up there, basically. So I've been that direction a couple of times.
Actually, the missus has some good friends who live up there. They live,
like my grandparents used to live in Grand Rapids.
I was about to say they live somewhere near Grand Rapids, but it's a smaller town. How goes the build? It goes, Id Monster. I'm painting spark plugs because I figured I better do it now, even though I'm going to scrape off a buttload of the paint while trying to put them back into place.
I'm trimming nails.
That's not a Zagok. Or are you trimming the Zegox nails?
I'm trimming the Zegox nails.
Hey, come back here. See, I need my self-squeezing tweezers. Those are the ones I'm missing. Yeah, the ones that would actually help me do this. I don't know where they're at. Like, they've got to be here somewhere because I use them all the time.
Are they? Do you have like a section in your stuff for tools or something? Maybe it got buried or something.
Well, I mean, normally, when my desk is clean, they're in the tool drawer of my tool bin. You know what I'm talking about? You've seen my build setup.
Yeah.
So that has a section that's for all my actual tools. So there's the paint section, sticker section, tool section. So normally it's in there if I'm not using it. So obviously I was using it for something, and it's here somewhere. If I can't find it in there, I just can't remember off the top of my head the last thing I was using it for. If it wasn't a mini TOF, I don't know what I would have been using it for. So in theory, it's here on the desk or the workstation. Oop, I totally missed a spot right there. I can see it. And for those wondering, this is one of the more quote-unquote proper ways to use Gundam marker. Squidge it out onto a palette of some sort and then paint it on manually. Moving to Royal Oak.
I've seen a lot of people do it that way.
He says he's moving to Royal Oaks, wherever that is.
Okay. Nope, have no clue where that is.
I don't either. What a coincidence. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little bit of white here to my sparkle plugger. This is something I would definitely spray on if I had the time.
See, I need D. There we go. 9.
I just realized that nobody can see what I'm doing. That's okay.
Yeah, I readjusted the camera on mine because I realized that everything was just slightly off frame.
Okay. See, what I should do is paint it and then put it back in its spot. This is a super rushed paint job, so I am not being super careful. Also, I'm painting white over black, so you can just tell how that's going to go.
Oh, no.
But, once again, they're spark plugs. Who cares?
Spark plug manufacturers?
Oh, nobody cares about them. If the transmission a 5-speed or a 4-speed with overdrive, I assume that this is a 3-speed, given the age. I do not know. Somebody should look that up. Why don't you Google it, Ben? The original PG Strike is perfect beginners, perfect grade. I really enjoyed it, but it's not too complicated as to be intimidating. Or not complicated as to be intimidating. Whatever he said. He said words and things.
Does the Perfect Grade Strike have lights on it, or is it before that was a thing?
I don't think so. But I'm also the wrong person to ask. I don't think a lot of Perfect Grades have lights. I think it started with the 00, but I could be wrong. No, I know other ones had it before 00. I honestly
know the Unicorn has a light kit of some sort.
Unicorn has a bespoke light kit. That was the first one where it was pre-wired and all that mess. It wasn't pods.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's also what led into the Exia, as you've experienced.
Yeah, and I think I want to say the deal with the Unicorn was that the light kit was made well after it initially came out or something. So it's kind of an afterthought or something.
I don't remember if you could buy it with the lighting kit. I feel like it was always a separate option.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be correct on that. I think if you buy it now, you can have the option. But I remember at Hobbytown, they had a bunch of the PG unicorns, and then only one or two of the lighting kits, but nobody wanted to pay the price for the lighting kit. That's why people kept buying the Chinese knockoff one. Because it was pretty much as good, but you'd have variable colors.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't support such things. There's an LED in the head, and that's it. Okay, yeah, that's not worth
it. Okay, for the eyes.
Yeah, that's not worth it. Oops, I'm going to dip that in the silver. And yes, I'm not applying the best brush techniques to this. I don't care.
It's okay. We can't see the brush techniques you're applying incorrectly.
Oh no, it's pretty rough. But once again, there's spark plugs. I should do multiple light coats. And in a lot of other situations, I would definitely suggest people do that. But in this case, I'm not caring that much. I'm going to have to touch it up in a few places, though, I can see. And yeah, your hand really gets tired holding the thing manually. This is why I really like my other tweezers. Maybe I'll leave that ridge unpainted.
My son just came into the room to get some notepad paper and a pen that he was using.
I hear the giggles.
Yeah.
The Xavier giggles.
He was trying very hard to be quiet about it, but he was like coming in and whispering, it's like, don't worry about me.
It's like, we can't hear you.
It's like, dude, you're already in the room. Don't worry about it.
Like, we can hear everything because someone doesn't have a headset. There you go for your next Father's Day. Or any next holiday of some sort. Guys, we need to do a fundraiser to get him some wireless headphones so that we can actually do this properly. Just a decent pair. They don't have to be anything ridiculous. Just a quick fundraiser.
You're looking.
Rodham the Sun walks in. Chris, I can see dead people. I see dead people. Oh, that's not good. Where? That would be my response. Where? Grab the proton one. By the way, you haven't been out shopping much lately. Have you seen the new Plasma Series figures in hand yet?
No, I have not. Are they good looking?
Yes and no. They could use a little bit of work. A couple of them are a little bit wonky, but other ones are not bad. I think Winston is probably the weakest. Gozer is interesting. I think it's interesting they include Gozer at all, but I guess they're going for that. Of course, you build the Pterodog Build-A-Figure. I don't know. I'm on the fence with them. I'm about to clear out a bunch of space in here, so I might have an empty shelf of which some Ghostbusters figures could go to. So it's a possibility in the future that I'll get those. But
there's a part of me that wants to pick those up just because I haven't had a whole lot of Ghostbusters toys, at least like real official ones.
Yeah, I mean, the classic cartoon ones are out too. They're exclusively at Walmart, from what I've seen. So if you're interested in those, you can get those too.
There's a part of me that wants those, but we actually have a set of original ones.
Yeah,
they were Jones actually.
But see, what's funny, I looked at it the other day because I had a couple of. I specifically had Venkman, It was my favorite. And I looked at it in hand. And I'm like, ugh. Like, I don't remember my original one looking this crappy. Like, the mold just isn't that good. It's like, I mean, it's fine if you're really into the real Ghostbusters stuff. You know, I mean, obviously the cartoon name. But like, for me, they're just not going to be worth it.
And you see, I think the main thing that I would want to do with them is collect them on card.
Yeah.
But I'm trying very hard not to do things like that.
Yes, we're trying to break you of that.
Exactly.
Like, there's certain collector things, and I'm guessing that's really what those are for. They're really just for that collector market of leaving things on card. But like, I don't know. I'm not a mint on card guy. I've got a few things that are still on card because I don't know if I want to keep them at all. Like my Stranger Things figures that I picked up. You know, it's an almost complete set of the Funko like 3 3/4 figures. So I've had them up for sale, but nobody seemed interested. I never even opened them, obviously. But like, you know me, I don't keep things on card if I can help it. I have a few things like my the only things I really have in display are things that look good in their box. Like their box is a display.
Right.
My
I mean, that's like
like my 8-bit Nintendo figure. You know, those look better on card because their box is a display, so it works. You know, it doesn't work for everything, but it works for those.
Well, it's like I have that Fall of Cybertron Bruticus set that's done up in G2 colors, complete with a box that looks like a Generation 2 box.
Yeah. Okay. Edward Leonard says, "Don't bother. Who wants to take the head apart and turn them on, dude? Buy what you like. Buy looks." But the Kai, he put Kia, has 95 runners. Ooh, that would have been a good one for the runner counter. I haven't done a runner counter in a while. I need to get a good big kit that I can do that runner count for. I guess the Apex will probably be a good one to bring back the runner counter, huh?
There were quite a few in that one.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that if I do another unboxing. I don't really do that many unboxings, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, I guess when I get to the Double Zeta MG, I'll do a runner counter.
That's right, because you do have that one, don't you?
Yeah, and I only really seem to do Master Grade unboxings, anyways. Other unboxings were almost exclusively for Patreon, but nobody seems to watch them anyways, so I'm just gonna probably stop doing unboxings in general, except for cool shit, kits.
Yeah, I pretty much followed suit on that because while the unboxings were nice because they were super easy to film and edit and get out, they're not as, like you said, they're not as popular.
Yep. If you don't have something day one, nobody cares. Unless you have something unique to do with it, which most of us don't. You know, unboxing is an unboxing. How many different ways are you going to do something different? You know. Though I did look something up when we were doing the experiments the other day, checking out YouTube searches, seeing whose videos pop up where. When I logged out and I searched Gunpla, or I searched 00 Gunpla,
right?
Guess whose video was like almost top recommended?
Mine.
No.
Sad.
No, Gunpla Millie's Dynamis review. Guess how many views it's nearly up to? Take a stab.
Too many.
Well, it's definitely too many. She's just under 1 million views on that video.
Good night. Yeah. I have two minds with her because it's like on one hand, she can do things how she wants. She can dress how she wants. On the other hand, I don't care for the idea that she's using those assets to what's that?
They're called Gumpla thoughts.
Yeah, to basically garner more views.
Well, there was another girl that people were sharing. It's a Japanese girl, and when her video started, it was all focused on her, from neck down, and that's where she was doing all her reviewing. And wearing tank top and a well endowed young lady, especially for a Japanese girl. And seemingly later on, she gets away from that. So, like, maybe it was just a starter gimmick, because I was talking to Miss Shoky about this earlier. Because if I have to, I will recruit her. To get views, I will use her assets. And I told her, I'm like, you can tell what people want to be important by what is mostly on camera. And if it's mostly you and you're not showing the thing, then that's what's important. That's the thing they're trying to sell. They're selling themselves, not the thing in question. And that's my problem with reviewers like that. Now, I understand toy reviewers that do things like that in certain aspects, unlike that one chick who is 100% literally just showing off her goods for views. Like, it's painfully obvious. And the fact that the name of her channel really does bring that up too. So I will never condone that. I actually reported a video of hers because she is legitimately only wearing an apron during the review. And she's constantly doing like that Instagram thing where they're where she's like moving constantly, like showing a lot of side ass and stuff like that during a review.
Wow.
Like, basically, look how sexy I am. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm here to look two ways. No. That chick is literally just being a thought. So no, I have nothing but contempt for most of them, unless they decide to be more than that. So yeah. Let's see here. Stein narrative version had a lot of runners for an MG. I still want that eventually. Obviously, I don't have it on hand. Actually, I want the Stein Ver Cup more than I want the narrative. Okay, that's while I've got the silver paint out, I might as well add some quick deco. So when I go to reach for things later, I get a finger full of silver paint.
Claus.
Santa?
Different spelling.
I don't know. I didn't go to school. So I'm trying to paint the tiny fake wing nut that's on top of the air cleaner. Turn this.
I mean, you might as well if you got the silver Gundam marker out, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I got the silver marker out. I might as well just hit the things real quick that I want to pick out and paint. But guys, I mean, like, it's fine if you want to be a simp for those channels, because that's really all it is. It's simp baiting. Just don't give them money. Like, it's like I can only want to know how much money nearly 1 million views is. I'll never find out. It's like I know how much 10,000 views are worth over the course of a year and a half or longer. But no, I just can't with some of these girls. That's all they're doing, and they're taking advantage of that, taking advantage of you idiots. And if you want to be that way, fine, go do that. But if you can't be more than that, then I can't subscribe to your way of thinking. No pun intended. If you have to use that to get anywhere, then what are you? Then just that.
And I think what makes it even worse is that it makes it harder for other women that want to get into Gunpla or are into Gunpla and having to put up with like people basically assuming that they're not really fans and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the other part. Yeah, you're entirely right about that. They're like, "Do you actually like Gunpla, or are you just one of those girls?" You know, that happens. You know, especially if you're into cosplay and stuff like that. They're like, "Oh, you're just taking advantage of it. You're just pretending or whatever."
Yeah.
It's hard to be a real fan, so to speak. And I think part of the thing that bothers me about it, call me sexist if you want, I don't care. But like Zach's review, Mecha Gaikotsu's review, not even close to those numbers.
Yeah.
And those guys are real reviewers. So it's like it delegitimizes so much about this hobby and this job. And I guess that's my biggest problem. Like, you know, what's Zach going to do? Throw his wife out there and hope for the best? You know, I don't even know what his wife looks like, but I'm just saying, you know.
I think he tries very hard to kind of keep his wife, and he has a son or something, doesn't he?
He's got one or two kids. I don't actually know. But I know he's got a couple.
Because I know he relatively
he's got
had
a family. I'll say that. He has a family. I don't know all of his particulars. We're not that good of friends. But yeah, I mean, like, to me, it takes some of the legitimacy out of the hobby. And as a YouTube reviewer, it just bothers me. Just like, if I was a sexy girl, would I be doing that? Oh, maybe. If I was that hard up for money.
Gender swap universe Shoky.
Let's just not.
Spelled with an IE, maybe.
Okay, there we go. Just start doing reviews in a Speedo. Okay, I'll be the Burt Kreischer of Gunpla reviews. Nobody wants to see my fat, hairy everything in Gunpla reviews. Although, if there is some Shoky simps out there, that'd be the way to find them. Okay, so right now I'm actually adding silver paint to all of the big bolts.
Cool.
So just picking out a little bit of detail here and there. And I realized my camera.
So why is the engine blue?
It's a Cadillac thing.
Is that an actual thing?
Yeah, I looked it up yesterday. I can tell you didn't watch my stream. I pulled it up in the middle of the live stream.
I came in like towards the end.
I pulled it up. And I legitimately pulled it up in the middle of the live stream to show off that is the legitimate color of these engines of this year or this series of engines. They came from the factory in this cool blue.
Though now that I think about it, I had an '88 Land Cruiser, and I remember the.
It's not a Cadillac.
It's not Cadillac, no, but it's a similar vintage, if you will, and the engine, but the engine, like engine hanging hook that they use for assembly, but it just stays on there and you use it for as a grounding point for jumping the car. That was blue as well. So that makes me wonder if maybe a similar thing where it was painted a different color, but I wouldn't know because it was all grimy and gray by the time I got it.
Yeah, most modern engines are either silver or black, so you wouldn't even know. Old cars, they did it for brand awareness. So, like, certain Mopars are orange. Other GM products are like a baby blue or kind of a cyan color. And there's some red. And the valve covers could change. And like I looked it up, like even the headers here or the manifolds are silver from the factory. Now these bolts probably wouldn't be. They would probably just be black, but I want them to stand out, so I'm doing this. See, like when you watch Adam Savage build the
It's
engine,
direct to one.
yeah. So when you watch Adam Savage do his engine, he changes it almost entirely to silver, as if it was an all aluminum thing, and that would be great, except for the fact it's definitely a cast iron engine. So that is whatever. Now, like I said, these bolt holes. Now, what would be cool is if I actually scrape off some of this silver. I was originally just going to kind of try to dry brush the edges so they look like they've been worked on a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. I just want it to stand out a little bit. Not gonna lie, it'd actually be kind of cool to be known as the Burt Kreischer of Gundam reviewing. Most manufacturers have their own engine color, like you said, yeah. So half of them are still talking about the PG conversation, and we're talking about the not PG conversation. See, like these bell housing bolts, those would probably be. Yeah, I love how I move the camera and then I move what I'm working on. Like, I moved it so you could see, and then I changed how I was holding it. So I'm doing real good. This is why I don't live stream build. And see, considering most of this is glossy, it would be perfect to go ahead and oil wash it.
Just do a nice
give it a valve cover leak. Get it all nice and grimy. Jerry's here. Happy birthday to Jerry. He's turning a whopping 26 years old. I'm just guessing. I'm just assuming he's in his 20s. I saw on the Facebook this morning that Jerry had a birthday along with like 4 other people, except for the fact that 3 of those 4 other people were the same person with multiple accounts. I can't figure out why one dude has like 4 separate Facebook accounts. The only thing I can think is he's been locked out of them and doesn't know how to get back in.
That's a possibility.
And see, like one thing that bothers me is like the starter to me should be silver. Or like the solenoid should be silver. But I'll be happy just painting the bolts. 25. Haha. I'm good. I just randomly guessed 26. He's 25, so that's good. So yes, good job showing up, Jerry. I'm working on the Ecto 1 build. We're dressing out the engine right now. I already had the paints out, so I'm going ahead and doing all my silver painting before I slap the spark plugs back into this so that I can actually continue the steps I was working on. I put the power steering pump on and I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to paint all the things. It looks good, though. I mean, look. See, look, you can see the silver bolts and stuff.
Very cool.
And like on the side of the head there. See, it makes pop out a little bit. Yeah.
That makes all the difference.
Even the bell housing bolts just make them stand out. And the fucking air filter wing nut. Even though technically it would be black.
Now, are you gonna do any chipping or anything like that since you got the silver paint out already?
No, I think I'm just gonna leave it because I'm treating this as though it's new.
Fair enough.
Oh, and the other thing I did here, the connectors on the starter solenoid, because those are definitely bolts that would be sticking out. I painted those silver. I'm taking that into consideration. Oh, so here's where the hose is going to go later. I didn't even notice that. So one's going to come here at the bottom of the water pump. One's going to come out the top where the thermostat would be. That's cool. You know what? I'm gonna do one more thing real quick before my silver paint dries up. I'm gonna paint the ring on this oil breather just to make it stand out a little bit. All things that would have been much better to do when nothing was assembled. Oops, I totally slopped that, but it's on the backside. No one cares.
Hide the crimes.
Yep. Brush got away from me there.
There it is.
That's when you just say screw it and you paint the whole thing. It's like, oops, I slopped the crap out of that. Let's just go ahead and paint that whole thing.
You can't fix it, feature it.
Yeah, I haven't heard that in a long time. Oh, see, one thing I would do, see, like they've got the freeze plugs here on the side. Those should be gold. But I don't have another brush right. It's like, oh, I was gonna do all the transmission bolts. Dang it. Okay, hold on. Gotta flip it over. We got pan bolts to do. Totally sidetracked with Shoky. That should be a whole video series in and of itself.
Isn't that just your YouTube career in general?
According to most people. I need to focus on the point of every video. I just need to get to the point, right? Hey, I've got a playlist for you. Thing is, I actually have some nice brass paint I can use for that. I don't have to use Gundam marker.
Okay.
What do we got here? 25. I was still in the Marine Corps in Afghanistan. Good for you, Daniel. Thank you for your service. I guess maybe not good for you, obviously, but you know, we like our armed service guys around here.
Yep. My dad was a Navy corpsman. My father-in-law served in the Air Force.
My dad was
a job description. He can't tell me what it is.
Oh, that's always fun. My dad was in the Army, but I don't technically know what his rank ever was. I wish I was 25. Am I going to paint the lettering on the valve covers? No, that is going to stay blue because that is a factory deal. It's one thing for the bolts to be painted, but like the Cadillac and stuff like that, that's just meant to be blue. So I'm going to leave that. This is like little details that you might see versus things that aren't real, you know? That's just how I'm looking at it. Though, considering where this one particular screw is for the transmission pan, unless the transmission mount is going to cover that, I would have made that screw the same blue. Like they gave us white screws for things that were going around the hood, but they're not going to give you blue screws for anything on the engine. Also, blue screws sounds like something really bad.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I bet that's a thing. Nobody look it up. Or if you do, at least have incognito mode on. See, I'm doing the transmission bolts or transmission pan bolts here. Okay, watch where I put my fingers. Make sure I don't. You know, isn't that the best thing when you know you painted something and you just keep moving your hands and then you realize you set your thumb in something freshly painted?
Yeah, it looks like I have a cut on my finger because I touched the red paint on the part I did earlier.
You didn't take a hairdryer to it, did you?
No, but I used the Tamiya paint, so I knew it was gonna.
It should dry pretty quick.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure it's dry now. I'm just giving it a little bit more time.
Depending on how thick it was, like if you just did a light blast just to make it red, it would be dry in seconds usually.
Yeah, I had to do a little bit of a heavy coat on it because that orange color of the plastic was just shining through like nobody's business.
Oh. Fine. Do it that way then, Thomas.
I always got to make things difficult.
This is not easy. I don't want to set it on its top. Here, everybody stare at my knuckles. And see, like when I get to the suspension is all black, but I might pick out the bolts and stuff. Because if I go through and I do a dirty pass, like actually throw some weathering powders and stuff on that, then it'll stand out. Okay, so moving this paint out of my way. And I will clean my brushes tomorrow. I'm bad, I know. I do need more brushes because I have messed up a couple in recent days. Okay. Oh, I got to put all the spark plugs back in. Dang it. That's where we left off with the spark plugs. Okay. Where can I grab? Oh yeah, just go ahead and smash that alternator. That's fine. Not gonna lie, that actually looks pretty good. Just got to be careful that I don't rub it up against anything. I guarantee that white paint is not exactly dry. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Ah, come back here.
Skiing away.
Well, with the way the Ghostbusters drove it, it would be accurate to paint some scratches on the oil pan. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm going with this as like a brand new Ecto one, not necessarily the one that they've been using for a while. Okay, gotta make sure I set the spark plug all the way in. There we go. Oh yeah, that looks super nice. You guys can't see what I'm doing. Here, let's turn the camera down. See, look at the spark plug sticking out of there. Actually looks pretty good. You're not looking, Thomas.
I'm looking.
Okay,
yeah, I don't know, silver and white things.
Yep, I don't know where my focus technically is. Here we go. That I'm kind of proud of myself, not gonna lie. Doesn't look like total garbage. Now, if you look at them away from the engine, total garbage. Next to the engine, looks fine. And you know, a lot of guys, once again, they'll shit on the use of Gundam markers. I'm like, they're good for that. I mean, like, whenever I paint my pilots, which is, rare, but I do it, it's almost exclusively Gundam marker and a tiny brush. I'm not going to bust out a full jar of paint or can of paint to do that, Okay, so the one that's behind the alternator is going to be a pain in my ass. I feel it right now. Probably going to get some paint on the alternator. Sorry, generator. It's British. Yeah, those look good. Look at that. Look, compared to the side of the engine, you can really see them stark next to the blue. It's nice. Cool. What? This is 1/8 scale. Everybody, like half the people come in who clearly have missed the previous live streams are like, man, that's huge. Yeah.
Well, it's like I said, it's one. It just finds new ways to remind you. It's like, by the way, this thing is going to be big.
Oh yeah, and since he just got here, he hasn't seen the huge parts that got in the box earlier. And this is going to be the dropped on the floor spark plug. So gross. All right, how am I going to get this in there without getting it on everything? Or do I just go ahead and remove the generator real quick? Yeah, I'm just going to remove the generator. Yeah, a lot easier to go ahead and just take out 2 screws. Even 1 screw, because I can rotate it out of the way.
There we go.
Oh, wow, that is loose.
I was trying to figure out why the arm was giving me so much trouble on this thing, and then I realized I didn't have one of the pieces assembled correctly, so nothing was sitting right. But now it's solid. This is good.
That would be a perfectly valid reason for it to not be working. Okay. So if this was a real alternator, I'd be able to use this slider to loosen it, but no. Crap, I dropped a screw. Oh, there it is. Neat. I mean, not that I don't have spare screws for that, but I would have to go back to the previous instructions and determine which one it was. Okay. That was so much easier than trying to finagle it in there. Okay, put this back on. And it's really interesting to think that this is so similar to building a real car. Like, so much of the way that things are going together is how it would go together. It's not just they had to figure it on a scale version, you know.
I mean, I'm not a car person by any stretch of the imagination, but I've seen enough to look that and go, it's like that's way more detailed than I would have anticipated.
Yep. Indeed. Okay. Line the hole back up. If I remember correctly, this one was difficult in the first place. There we go. Got it to line up. See, I'm worried about that spark plug wire is going to come right up against it. So that's a little weird in my mind. Okay, so now that we took that little sidetrack there, we got some nice spark plugs sticking outside of the motor. I think that was pretty good. If I do toot my own horn so much. Now back to what I was working on, the actual bracket for the power steering pump. All right. What does it say? Aztec paint markers are cheap. Or I'm sorry, Arteza paint markers are cheap and also work well for small detail stuff. I use them in combination with Gundam markers. I could see that. I mean, I just have Gundam markers because that's what I started with, obviously. I've used them since the beginning of my building career, so to speak, because I did not know that there was any other way to do it. And because I was watching Gunpla TV and they talked about how they work, that's how I got involved with this, as it is.
I mean, that's pretty much how I got my sets of Gundam markers.
Yeah. Is Gunpla TV still going? I didn't know if they stopped after Ryan and Sid quit doing it. I know the girl and that really weird dude did it for a while, but like I just couldn't really watch it after that.
Because that's a Hobby Link's channel or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Okay, so I don't understand how this bracket is supposed to reach that far, and it is dragging. It's dragging directly on spark plug. Clearances. Who needs them?
It's another part that is calling for a sticker that I'm not going to use, particularly since I can't find the stickers right now.
See, guys, you're getting a heads up on his review. He did not use stickers. Okay.
So for a kit from what is this, 2003, it's really not that sticker heavy.
Okay. Yeah, see, look at this. Look how close. If you can see this.
What am I looking at?
The bracket I just put on is literally touching the spark plug. Like, in real life, you would definitely not do that.
I was about to say, that's probably not a good thing.
No, that should be clearanced a little bit better than that. But it is not. So, yeah, that was the right thing to do. It's just weird. Also, it's bolted to the head. That's weird. Did you remember to gap them? Yes, I gapped them all. Daniel says he uses both Gundam markers and Tamiya panel line accent black. I've never used the Tamiya accent marker or accent liner. I just use the Portype panel line markers, which you can see right here on the desk. Because the Tamiya tends to be a little aggressive for the things I do. Basically, you get the same colors out of Gundam markers, so it's like, what's the point? Okay, so now we are on to the fitting the crankshaft pulley. I need an 11H. Which one is 11H? It's 11I. It's 11J. Is this 11H? I can't tell. Yes, it is. Like I said, this is the first one I've seen that the stuff is actually stamped on it properly. Okay, so this one just slips on over the main shaft. Main shaft. And then we need 11K. You guys can't see what I'm doing because it's on the other side of the engine. It's fine. There we go. Got 11K. 11J, which is this one, and then 11I, as I previously said. Okay. Although it's saying to have 11I facing out. I'm guessing that's going to be the inside. Yeah. So look at this. This is how they stack the pulleys. It's kind of interesting. I think I might turn autofocus back on because I can't set the depth of field here. I don't know if that really helps anything. Okay, so at the last of that tray, finally. Come here, little guy. Okay. Then I need a GM screw that'll go down the middle and hold the crankshaft on. It's interesting to see that it's such a small screw that's going to hold all that together.
Well, that arm just fell apart.
Or get surprised. Okay, let's set this up again so I can try to align that better. I was going to say it's almost loose enough to spin, but not really. Actually, you can rotate it. That's cool. So yeah, there's our crankshaft pulley, which in my mind would be black because it's a crankshaft pulley. So like the power steering pulley would be black. This will be black. The water pump pulley should be black. Yeah, I bet it's not. Okay. So we're done with that section. That's number stage 11. Okay. So we're going to do the fitting the fan and the fan poulet. Yes, I'm going to call it a poulet. So that would
make it sound section. Fancy.
So now we got the hoses and whatnot. So yeah. They're basically the same thing, just different form factors. So what's everyone what? Still around.
Talking about paint, I guess.
I don't know. Said around just different people doing it. I don't know what you're talking about. I guess you're talking about the panel line marker? I don't know. Jerry's asking what he's got going on. I have no idea. I don't know anything, Jerry. I'm just here. Oh shit, I cut all the way through to the paper. Oops. Oh no, my pristine magazine. Probably got some paint on it somewhere. All right, step 12. I've got a fan. You can see here we have a fan, and then we'll have some more pulleys, probably for the water pump. And then we'll have the actual belts that run all the different pulleys. And then we'll have I'm just going in and out of different accents here. Then we'll have the upper and lower radiator hoses, and then all of the different lengths of wires, including some black ones up here. I was all kinds of 11. I was in a whole lot of different regions of England there. Possibly some Australia. I don't know. I'm tired. My throat is actually sore from talking so much today. I have beer. Lubricate the throat. You have to lubricate the throat. Okay, come out of there, little pulley guy. And see, like, for me, these appear to be cast in blue and painted. I could be wrong. But that's what they look like. It look like a blue. And see, look, these don't have the numbers cast into them. How weird. Step 11, everything had the numbers cast. Step 12, not so much. Okay, so I get 2 new EPs with this one. Whoop-de-doo. Are we all excited for more EPs?
I'm excited.
Pour type markers can be aggressive on ABS plastics, though. Yes, they can. I have experienced this personally. But
poor Balverka.
Yep. Okay. Let's see here. Which way does that go? That looks the same regardless which direction I hold it. I'm guessing front or back doesn't matter. Wait, it must. Oh. Okay. I was confused. It's because you have to have the fan in there. I'm going to say this way. Slide it on. The thing, stupid. Oh, never mind. It's not. Wait, is it? No. Okay. I'm dumb. Ignore what I said previously. It's not the same 100%. So, like I said, if I had some flat black paint, I would paint these things flat black.
Okay.
And this is another case of this should be a much longer screw, in my opinion. But I guess I see why it's not. Set that in there. This is not going to be easy. Or is it? You decide. Who won? Who's next? You decide.
That's a fun series.
Yep. Okay. Personally, I liked the Joker versus Pennywise.
We live in a society.
Giggling sewer ginger. You belong to a turtle who wasn't even a ninja.
My favorite one though is Jim Henson versus Stan Lee.
Oh, I have not watched that I can recall.
That was the ender for one of the seasons, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so. Thanos versus J. Robert Oppenheimer was so good. Like some of the best writing they've ever done. Like the wordplay was really ridiculous. I don't know if you watched that one.
I don't remember that one. I'll have to look that one up again.
That was that season ending as well.
I think the only one that I've seen that I didn't really care for was Doc Brown versus the Doctor. I just I didn't think it was super as funny as it could have been, and the song and raps and stuff like that just weren't as cool. Basically,
yeah. Okay,
it was weak.
Yeah. But so J. Robert Oppenheimer, the guy who basically invented the nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Versus Thanos, and of course this is post Infinity War Thanos.
Yeah.
It was brutal. Like like Thanos threw out a lot of. He was basically fronting a lot, but not hitting anything. Like. So that was the only thing that kind of sucked about it. But that was the whole point, they want to give it to the actual historical figure, not the mythical figure, so to speak. In the fact that they used they made all of J. Roberts' parts sound like that interview, the famous interview where he talked about everything. So they gave him a radio voice, a radio filter.
That's kind of cool.
And
I think I may have seen that one.
I shared it, so I don't know if you saw it or not, but it was fantastic because he's like, Thanos starts it out, and then J. Robert replies. Let's see.
The Ninja Turtles versus Renaissance painters was also a really good one.
Oh, that's funny.
And another one that I also remember liking was it was like Greek philosophers versus Asian philosophers.
I haven't watched that one, but I've seen it there. Oh wow! So I got to stretch this rubber band all the way down to here. I missed it, so now I got to do it the other way. Okay. But yeah, let's see. J. Roberts says one of the they've got two very good lines in there, but Thanos also drops some stuff on him, basically talking about how he was a cheater. Like he's like, you slept with your friend's wife right there in your friend's bed. You got another married girl pregnant. You should have gone for the head.
Okay, I think I remember that one now.
Yeah, and then he replies with after your raps, I am become deaf. You're destroyer worlds, but you got your nuts handed to you by a squirrel girl. It was one of the replies.
Nice.
And he's all he never. Oh, what did he say? You want to talk about death? Let's talk about the one that took a look at you and swiped left, or took one look at you and swiped left. I was like, wow. He's like, but I think because it's the most recent ones that I've seen, the Joker versus Pennywise had the most like hidden bars, especially on the Joker's part. And let's see, what did he say? He's like, oh, he says, ask Robin if I drop bars. And then he swings a crowbar. Ask Robin if I drop bars. And then scars or guards or it's ask Robin if I drop bars. I bring laughs and leave scars. Guards at Arkham will admit the Joker just killed it. So he actually drops a Skarsgård reference because Bill Skarsgård played it. And most people missed it. Like I watched a lot of reviewers who watched it, and nobody caught the Skarsgård reference. Okay, so let's see here. Spark plug wire time. Great. Are you going to tell me which ones go where? Like it's like 12i. Well, it's like 12i. It's this one. Okay, those aren't labeled. Like, which one is 12i? There's 4 different lengths of wire here. Let's see. Maybe it'll tell me in the diagram. Let's see here. Rodimus Joker sounds like Starscream. That's funny. There was a Mark Hamill reference as well from the Joker. There's also a Nicholson Joker reference, which was buried and awesome. Like,
yeah, those guys, the research they do on this stuff.
So here's the thing. So it does tell me which one's which. So 12H doesn't help that it's not displayed the same way. Okay, so there's 2 of these. There's one really long 12L. Okay, let me get my my writing device here. Random man, what's going on? Okay, so the short ones are 12H. So that's 12H. I've got 3 that are slightly longer than that. Those are 12J because that's how math works, apparently. Oh, and see, the thing is that specifies blue. This specifies black. So there's 2 really long ones that might be blue. And there's a shorter one that's black. Oh, that's confusing. Okay, so 2 longer blue ones. That's 12I. That's confusing. There's a 12K. It's longer than that, but by itself. But doesn't say if it's black or blue. But there's one long blue one. So the longest one has to be 12L. That's for sure. Okay, so this has got to be 12K. Get your new 12K TV today at Best Buy. 12L and 12 M. That's this little guy here is 12M. Man, that's not easy. Like, why don't they have like a diagram under the thing so you don't have to go back and label it like this? This is nuts.
They want you to work for it.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, spark plug wires are a pain in the ass in the first place. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't just give them to you in the same length and then you cut them to fit. Because you can do that with real spark plug wires. You can buy universal spark plug wires and then you actually just make them fit. You crimp the end on, you put the boot on, you're good to go. So you can make your own custom wires. I know you don't know this. That's why I'm telling you. All right, attaching the belts. I hope they're good. I think one of them's twisted. I don't care, but it's pretty cool. Look, they got the belts on there.
That's amazing. It looks like a real engine.
Yeah. Is it me or does a Cadillac engine look like it's in Titan's test team colors? You mean blue? Yeah, it's pretty blue. It's close-ish to Titan's blue. Titan's blue is a bit darker. It's a Titan's engine, but yeah, it's a Cadillac engine. Okay, so first up is a 12i. That's going from the first spark plug to the number. And this should be the number 1 too. So that's interesting. Yeah, how am I going to run that? Okay. So this is how you have to run it. It has to come up and over the valve cover, bend, and then come around this way. But like, there's hard bends in the way they do it. It's not like subtle. So in this bracket is not as much in the way as it is in the diagram. So this is not fun. Build an Ecto 1, they said.
It'll be fun, they said.
Wonder if because I got a little bit of paint on that, if it's going to be a little too thick now. Okay. Yeah, so I've got to bend this. I got to slide it on. Okay, so like that. That's good. And then I have to feed it up and under this bracket. Like that. But then, like, it takes a hard turn. It goes up and over the valve cover, takes a hard turn, comes over here, goes through the first hole into the first little plug coming off the distributor. Once again, why did I put the valve cover on when I have to run these frickin' wires? Or not valve cover, air cleaner. That's like basic maintenance number 1. You get all the crap out of your way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the air cleaner off so I can get to the spark plug wires. I kind of wish that was a real wing nut. I feel like that would be awesome. So here we can see, for those who didn't get to see it yesterday, what it looks like under there. Okay, and look how much freaking wire there is. Like, look at this. Like, that is a ridiculous wire. But like, there's no, and like, it's supposed to be like at a nice angle right here and bent and all this, and then it should come down here and look really nice and bend down to that. No, it doesn't do that. So I got to cut that to length. It's the other thing. It's like, just like I did yesterday. It's like you basically cut it to fit because it'll be stupid otherwise. But I think it's almost like it was supposed to be a real wire. Like there's supposed to be like a body of wire inside it because it shows it with significant bends and it like holding that shape. So maybe no.
I mean, it's hollow in theory. I suppose if you really wanted to, you could run your own.
Yeah. Let me empty out something and run my real wire in here. But like, it would almost be easier if they did it that way. Like, But I get that they wanted the sleeve to come up and over the thing, but like you can't make it hug near the valve cover. It's not stiff. And you're definitely not
You
going to
know
get
how other people did it?
no clue. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. PVC cables. Hold on. When fitting PVC cables, use a pair of tweezers. Grip carefully around the 5 millimeter from the end of the cable. Ends of the cable should fit tightly onto the connector pins. At the end of the cable, too narrow. Fit it on the pin. Gently insert a cocktail stick into that. Just basically widen it out. But it doesn't say anything about bending it to make it stay, so to speak. And I don't have any wire handy to like do that. I can cut this to fit though. And these are the short cables. That's the weird part. Oh, okay. This is the 12i. This is not the shortest one. But like, even if I do it to the bare minimum of what they want, which is about to there, I can cut that to. Oop, don't. Almost cut off the end of the plastic instead of the tube. Just odd. It's like they give you a wire that's too long, and they don't give you a way to bend it effectively. Like, I mean, a real spark plug wire is not going to be super bendy, but it might be pre-fit, with bends in it to go around things,
It's because they hate you.
Clearly. Like, I could even see, like, heat shaping it to some degree, but no. But no. Also, why are they blue? I don't understand. Okay, I'm going to try bending it like a real bend. See if that makes any difference. Probably not.
Okay, I got those.
Here we go. Crimp it. Yep, that made no difference. Okay. Fine. Moving on.
Fine?
I just said screw it. That's what I said. Okay, so 12J is the next one. Whoever 12J is one of the shorter guys, or mid-length guys. And then two 12Hs. And then I guess it'll repeat on the other side. Yeah, having that tiny little bit of paint on there does not make it slide on super easy. Okay. And so this one, let's come up and bend this way. Come across here, look all super nice and stuff. Get fed through here. And see, I like the factory. I like the idea of the factory wire maintenance or wire controls. Like, so they're, it does have the wire splitting already.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. I'm not going to say it's not, but it's a pain in the ass the way they did this. Okay, so I'm just going to do the thing. I mean, worst case scenario, I just pull one to the slack out, make it just long enough, As long as I have enough room to actually plug it onto the thing, I guess it doesn't matter. See, like, these are supposed to bend down nicely once they come through the bracket. See, like, if I had scale zip ties, I would do some zip tie separators. So, yeah, I mean, like, you can see here, like, how they look. That is nothing like they're supposed to look. It's kind of crap. Does it make you put in a throttle cable? Not as of yet, but there is a hook. So it's possible there might be a tiny spring. But then again, I haven't seen that part. And this is all of the engine stuff. So it's not likely. There's a tiny little, like, hook there. if I felt like it. But then again, maybe they don't give you that until you get the body because there's nowhere for it to go. You know. Okay, so run that tight near the engine. Yeah, see, I might pull the slack out entirely from that because that's like an inch that I can cut off of that one.
Let's see.
The funny thing is, it says nothing about cutting the fit. It just says put them in, stick them on, good to go. But it would look really weird if I did not cut them to fit. There'd be so much freaking overhang; it'd be ridiculous. Yeah, I'm gonna cut some out of this one. Not like that at all. I could take like half an inch off, maybe more. Yeah, at least half an inch. Yeah. Shorten up that one too. About, yeah, about there. It's like, well, if you're going to customize. There we go. Yeah, they have them run almost like brake hoses with like perfect bends in them.
So working better now?
What?
The wires?
No. I mean, it's the same. I'm just like, because they're getting closer to the thing, it's almost like there's no reason to have a fixed length at all. Like I was saying, they could have given you, how whenever you get like a Mark II Gundam and it's got the cover for the back of the hoses on the legs, or anything that's Mark II based.
I know of that. I've never done that myself though.
Okay, so they give you a length of fuzzy cable, braided cable cover. And then they tell you need to cut this much length. They give you a little diagram and all that. That's all they would have had to do for this. Give you a spool of this empty wire. Or I don't know, mold the entire thing. No reason for it to be an actual wire. Because look how much I'm wasting. Look how much is coming off.
Wow.
I'm gonna have like probably a whole cord's worth by the time it's done. Okay, that's only half the end. I assume the other side is the exact opposite. Gotta move my air cleaner out of the way. I do think it's funny that it doesn't tell you to do that, but it's easier if you remove the air cleaner because you can just access everything. I will say I'm happy.
It's a very accurate to car thing, right?
Yeah, because you would need to, like, especially given that this is on the back of the motor, you'd be reaching up and over everything. You would need that just to be able to access it, and you couldn't access the ignition coil, which is right here, And then it does have a wire running down from the. Oh, that's a vacuum hose. Okay, so that's the vacuum advance. What else is gonna run off of that? It looks like some of these are running to nothing, so they'll plug into, like a heater hose or brake booster or something in the future. So they're planning ahead. So they're gonna have hoses and wires hanging off in the future. Okay, so I need a 12K. I bet I don't. I bet I need a 12i. So every one of these could be a hair shorter. Yeah, look at this one. So I have to get this on right next to the freaking thing. Like I could have left that off. Yeah, some solid core wire that was just stripped near the end would have worked for this. And make it the exact length so you can bend it for accuracy. Yeah, see, I gotta scrape that off a little bit. Too much crappy white paint on the little sparky pluggy.
Debating a little bit if I want to just hit this leg armor here with some Tamiya thin cement and basically remove the seam line on it.
Yeah. Don't.
Don't?
Yeah. Just don't. Come on. Get on there. I might have to remove the frickin' generator again to get this wire on. Like it's too, I can't get it past it. Level of detail is pretty astounding, even if it does seem a little finicky. This is the most finicky thing I've had to do so far because it doesn't make sense. It's just stupid. And you guys can't even see what I'm trying to do, but like, the spark plug is back here behind the alternator / generator. So I'm trying to slide the plug on. See, they could have made all of that one big thing, And yeah, I could just screw that off again. I don't want to if I can help it. So I can open it up ever so briefly. This reminds me of working on one of my cars back in the day where there's literally no room to function. Literally just trying to thread things into place. I'm trying to use the tweezers to ever so slightly. There we go. That's what I had to do. I had to use the tweezers to just push that on. All right, how is this one supposed to be run? Up, over, under everything, around here, and then through to the first one. Once again, it looks so nice in the diagram. Okay, so I can cut off at least an inch and be fine.
Okay, that's complicated, aren't they?
Yes. I don't know what you're talking about, but yes is the answer. I don't know. Is it putting on individual spark plug wires difficult? Because if it's
not, I'm putting on individual little like leg segments.
So yes. So the answer was yes, everybody. 12I, 12J, 12J. Okay. Wait. I don't even need the rest of the 12H's. What the hell are the other two 12H's? Oh, okay. Ask question will be answered eventually. See, the thing is, working on this engine probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. Oh, and I didn't even go through the damn separator. So I just cut off all that slack, and I probably shouldn't have.
Uh-oh.
It'll probably be okay. Once again, I had a ton of slack. Like a real mechanic. Oh, crap, I didn't run it through the thing. Leave it. Oh, yeah, that is like tight. Like a toy gun. Oops. No worries. I'll be the only one that's exactly the right length, because if it was any shorter, it'd be fucked. Okay. See, like this one, I can comfortably cut off an inch. 10. Here we go. I got a little bit of slack, but that's fine. 12.
No, 8.
7. At least it's okay. So he said, at least it's not a modern engine with fuel injection and wiring harness that's a little tiny ECU. I'm okay with that, because that would be one little thing I have to assemble. Are you paying attention to the firing order? I'm going in the order it's telling me, so that would be the correct firing order. So this would be, oops, actually the one cylinder was rotated wrong. Okay. So presumably
somehow I actually got that joke, and I'm kind of impressed with myself.
Don't be. Well, it is actually set up proper, so like there's no guess work involved in the firing order. Like if I had to guess which one was the right one, I would just go front to back. Like that would just be the only way to do it. But yeah, once again, it doesn't tell you to remove any of the slack. It just says put them in there. Because if I didn't, they would be like insanely long, hanging out in weird spots. Okay. I need one more 12J, yeah? Yeah. The final 12J.
The final 12J. The final countdown is more epic than it has any right to be.
Is it? Or is it not? Okay. That one might be just a hair short, but I'll make it work. Okay, it wasn't. Good. Did I really? Oh my god, I ran it. Oh, okay. I thought I ran it through the transmission dipstick. But there's a little loop in the dipstick, so it actually went kind of through the hook itself. That's funny. I thought I legit ran it through there. I was like, no. I was like, I should paint the transmission dipstick red. With the modern engines, that's the way they do it, so that you're not screwing that up. Okay, so the next one is a 12M, which is the short one, the short black one. That goes into the back of this little tiny thing that's under the intake manifold. This is why the logistics of this kit are kind of stupid. This is something you would have done before you put the distributor on. Like, they should have sent the wires accordingly. Like, how the hell am I? I mean, I could have done this first, like before I just did all that. Like, I'm having to kind of blind stab at this little tiny vacuum port that's inside the intake manifold. Okay.
There it goes.
I hope you guys appreciate everything I do, so that you guys have some silly content. Okay. And look at this. So it shows that the hose only goes to like right here below the head, and it sticks out way down here under the I really can't see. So like the hose here comes out from here, runs underneath all this, supposed to run to about right here, and then stop. But it goes another inch. So I'm not cutting that off until I know exactly where it's going. Okay. So now I need the two wires that go to, yeah, see, this is even stupider. So the two wires going from the alternator to the starter, which also doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, need to be blue for reasons. Reasons, Thomas, reasons.
Reasons.
Not reasons. Be right back.
Reasons.
Walk the dog. Okay, go walk the dog, Ben. We'll still be here probably. Got a dumbass engine to build.
Reminds me of that one stream where we waited for the person to come back from taking the trash out.
Oh, that's right. I think it was Ben. It was.
Is it the same person?
Say what? Sorry if you could hear me on that. I was talking to King. Oh, no, I couldn't. Okay, this is not going on the way I thought it would. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Yeah, I think it was Ben he took the trash out, and we waited. And we waited.
Then we got tired of waiting and went back to the show.
He never told us he was back. He's like, sorry, I did this other thing too. I went and got some food. Well, we were waiting on you. Held up the whole damn stream. come back and be like, "What? Y'all were talking about me again?" We do it all for you, Ben. Since you're moving. Yeah, like how is that supposed to slide on over that? That is like a huge peg. I mean, it could have something to do with the paint I put on it, but I'm not going to take that responsibility.
No, it's the children to blame.
It's always the children. Have you seen what the children have done lately? Crazy kids. It's 8:30 and we don't have but 4 people watching. Figured more people would be around right now.
How many people do we got watching?
4.
Oh,
And one
wow.
taking the trash out. I'm sad.
Hey, can you take a break to at least read to Xavier for 5-10 minutes?
Okay. I'll be right back, folks.
Now he's got to go take the trash out.
Nope, I need to go read to the boy.
Oh, that's it.
It is the bedtime for the child.
I will minimize.
Gonna read from the good book.
Nice. We'll go solo mode for a few minutes here, guys. Which means I'm not going to be paying attention when he gets back. Come on. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. Okay. So for those who can't see what I'm doing, I'm running. Whoa, where did my focus go? Running the wires from down here up to here. And so this is what I'm talking about. If you couldn't see what I was doing before, so like they're only running to right here. They don't have to be anywhere as near as long as they are. And the diagram right here shows it with a really nice hard bend in it. Which is not something I have the ability to do because they're, tubes. They're tubes. They're not wires. Tubes. They're tubes. And actually, that shows that to be a lot lower. Is it normal? Okay. So I just need that to be about a little bit of tension. Not a lot. It's about to there. And then presumably this is a ground wire that will run. There we go. Yeah, so just somehow that's got to stay away from the manifold. Good luck with that. Okay. So once again, cut that to length. Funny thing is, like back in the day, I wanted to do model cars that had like all the wires and stuff like that, and I just never did it. This is the first time ever. So you can see there all the blue wires running to everything. And I guess it does make it pop a little bit with it being translucent, so that at least it'll stand out in an engine bay. But man, this is annoying. Okay, where am I at now? Hoses or whatever. Let's put the air cover back on. Okay. Put the screw back in. Put the wing nut back in. Very nice. Okay, so engine is coming along. Now we have to move on. See, that thing should have a little cap on it. I don't understand why it does not. Okay, so the water hoses, pretty simple. Oh wait, where does the big guy go? Oh, that's next. That's the fuel filter or fuel line. Okay, interesting. So the short stubby hose right here, which has a clamp on the end, that's cool. So that's going to go coming up top. Has a dash there, so that'll run here. This seems like something that you would only put on once the radiator was ready. in my opinion. That is actually made of rubber. That's interesting. Okay. I feel like this fan bolts should be done too. All right, this one is the opposite, so it's got a hole, and then it'll plug in to here like that, and then it'll run to the radiator round about there. So that's the engine essentially done. Let's get the fuel line on here. I don't know who the heck cleaned this out. So fuel line comes out the front of the pump and then runs down to just down there. Just drag that down through there. That's not where it's going to stay. That's just where I got to run it for now. That's another thing that would be better served, as a hard piece of plastic. So that's part not done. Lots of tiny blue bits. Like if you guys can see this, hold on. So that's all that's left over. That's all the excess cut off. That's crazy. Okay. So now we move on to the next part, which is front chassis frame and distributor. That part doesn't make sense. It's already got a distributor. Okay. So the big parts. Okay. Pull this out carefully. Throw some loose bits. Oh, that's a lot of static. Okay. Little bits. Another part. So this is definitely plastic. So assume that's plastic. Even though it's really heavy. Nope, I take that back. This is die cast. Holy crap. This is a huge die cast piece. That is metal. That is a front subframe. That is exactly what it is. It's not technically a front subframe. It is a front subframe. Look at this. So this is plastic. This is metal. Wow. Okay. So this is already going to give you a slight concept of how heavy this thing will be when it's done. Okay, I need some EM screws. Do I have EMs? I do have EMs. Okay. I need 4 or 2. Okay. Short walk. It started raining. Okay. Well, we were waiting on you, All right. So I don't know what this is. It's interesting. It's got plugs on it. I don't know if that's supposed to be brake line. It says distributor. So I'm not sure what it means. Yeah, it calls that a distributor, so I don't know what that is. Okay, so I need 2 EIMs. EIMs. That's just how I talk now. I just say random syllables. Okay. I don't know. This is the exciting part for me. This is where it starts looking like a car. Okay, that made a little pop noise, so I'm calling that in. Especially considering it's a plastic part being screwed onto a metal part. Okay, so turn this around. We need this little guy here. And if I don't get to mount the engine to this, I'm going to be pissed. Because this is the transmission mount from what I can see. So the engine mounts are going to plug in right there, be screwed in from the bottom, and that's the transmission mount. Tiny bag goes away. Another EM. Like I said, I don't know why this would be on the frame of the car. Don't know what it is, technically speaking. Okay, that's tight. Good. This is what the assembled piece should look like. So those two steps were just this thing. Look at this guy. So the body and the chassis die cast. I don't know. The chassis, yes. So far, this is all die cast. I do not know if the entire body will be die cast because that would be super heavy. I assume the main chunk of the body will be plastic. But I do not know because the hood was die cast, which is super heavy. But to me, if they do the full entire body in metal, that thing's going to be super heavy. That's going to cost like an arm and a leg to ship. You know, most of these are like a $10 shipment. Most of these fit in the same size box. That box is going to not be the same size. Okay, so I get all these out of the way here. Just clear out some things. By the way, I forgot to show off the Trophy of Apathy. That's what, we're there. Okay. Oh, yeah. I got to make sure I look down every now and then, make sure Rodimus is not back. Usually it takes about 10 minutes to read through the boy. So this is a good reason I started so early tonight. So if we started now... Oh. We're working on the suspension. Please tell me I bolt the fracking engine to this thing. I don't. I'm not happy about that. Okay. No, it stops at just the front wheel. That's annoying. So essentially, they don't tell you to do it so far. But the engine is going to go right there. Essentially, hold on. I don't have the holes lined up. 1, 2. 3. So I'm just setting it in there, I guess, because you have to put the suspension parts on. So that's the engine set in the chassis. Now, there's just 3 mounting holes here, and then these 2 up here. So yeah. Pull that back out. So we're actually done with the engine for now. For all that hard work. Stay. So we're going to be assembling the front suspension, at least for the driver's side, which is all this mess. If you weren't here for the unboxing earlier, which there's only 6 people watching. Hello, if you just joined the stream, we've made a lot of progress so far. And we're just kind of BSing. Rodimus had to take a quick break to go read to his son. He'll be back. Kind of want to leave the engine out where I can see it. It's kind of nice. My worry is that radiator hose is not going to stay there. So let's set that aside. So what we have here is a box of suspension parts, some of which are die cast as well. So that's cool. Oops, I forgot to turn the page before I got started. Hold on. Thought I did. Oh, I looked. I didn't turn the page. Okay. So we got a bunch of screws in there that are new, which means I have to leave them in the baggies because I can't put them in my little screw separator at the moment. Hey, you, don't do that. That means there's going to be a fuel tank on this. I got to wrap my head. Like, I know what it takes to build a car. Like, I've done it, But, like, there's something about this that just feels so nuts. Okay, so that's all parts. Are these all screws? Hey, those are big wide screws. That's interesting. None of these are little plastic parts. They're all screws. Got EMs, GPs. I don't have an HP. Is that labeled? That is an IM. There's an IM. So I'm only up to GM on there. So I need a GP. Got GP, EMs. Everything else is new. So go FM, EM right up here. It's a lot of EMs in this front suspension. I mean, it's got the brake parts and stuff in here. I might have to paint because it's going to be together, but not 100%. I guess it's a brake drum. look up exactly how the GM brake drum kit looks in that year model. Paint that, because if you guys have never done drum brakes, because the springs can get confusing, they usually color code them. Okay, like I said, it has like the torsion bar sort of that goes across the steering rack. So this is another case of things that I will have to deck out with some detail later. Crazy. Kind of scooch the big metal bar out of the way here. Let's see. That's got a bushing in it. Okay, so here's part of the brake drum. There's actually the backing plate for the brakes. Even got the, like I said, it's got the springs in there. So that's what I'm talking about if I need to pick any of that out. I really wish I could get a Wodan pod. I'm just joining you guys. Okay. Wodan pod's not out just yet here. I'm waiting on it. This is diecast, so this control arm, upper control arm, if I had to guess. Watching you guys give me the itch to build something. I gotta wait until my PG Red frame guy comes. Okay, so you decided on that. Let's see, what else is diecast? That's diecast. Control arms diecast. Pivot points diecast. So a lot of this is diecast. Oh, this is metal. Okay. This is a real spring. Like, no joke. This is a real spring. What the hell balls? Okay. It has a bump stop. It's got freaking bump stops on this. It is legit building a freaking thing. Like, okay, look. So here's the up. Okay, I was wrong. This is upper. No, this is lower control arm. I'm looking at it upside down. So this is the spring seat right there. Yes. And it comes with bump stops. That's insane. And we've got left and right bits. So here's the ball where the ball joint would technically be. Okay, I need EMs for that. This is nuts. I'm not gonna lie. This is nuts. This is building a legit suspension for this. Except I don't think there's a shock absorber. It's just a spring from what I can see. Lower suspension arm. I assume they'll flip up. I don't know. See, that should have been a pin. Why is it a screw? See, like, that's just holding that in place. The screw's actually not screwing into that because that needs to move. The screw is actually set in the middle control arm part right here. And getting that thread is a pain in the ass. So yeah, that's just a pivot point. That should have just been a pin. So look, that's where the ball joints for the front suspension would be. That's nuts. Okay, and then once again, get the bump stop. Calls that a 14H. This one was in here with this, so I don't know if it's supposed to be this one. If there's two of them, I need a goop to screw that one in. And by the way, it's a real rubber bump stop too. That's even funnier. What am I doing? Oh, Rodimus is back.
I have returned.
Okay, I'm working on the suspension.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is crazy, dude. Like, it's all die cast for the most part. And what I was just doing, so you see here, so this is the lower control arm. This is where the spring seat will be. And this, I remember I said it was a wire. No, this is a spring. This is like a hard spring. And like,
oh my goodness,
dude, they had me do 2 screws coming through here, but they're not actually screwed into this because that's where the ball joint will be, the upper ball, or lower ball joint. Actually, that makes no sense. That's a lower control arm. That ball joint should be. So, I don't know. Either way. Oh, the spring goes between the ball. Got it. Never mind. Okay. So this is just meant to pivot on the screws. The screws are just holding it in place as a pivot point, not actually screwing into the thing. I thought I had, there's autofocus. But yeah, this is nuts.
that's crazy.
I think everything but the brake parts. So like the brake drum thing here with the molded in springs. If you've never seen the inside of a brake drum, this is what it looks like. So this right here, so for the uneducated, this thing right here that looks like a spool, like right there, is your actual thing. That's the thing that is actually brake solenoid. So that has a little the brake fluid will come in through the back and it will push out in both directions, pushing against the brake drums or shoes, I should say, the brake shoes on either side. And this is actually the adjusting thing down here at the bottom. This thing down here is your adjuster for how tight it is. And then you have the counter springs that will pull them back. So if anybody needed an education on how brake drums work, even though 90% of you don't even have brake drums on your cars. Having rebuilt a real set of
That's a crazy amount of detail.
Yeah, no, hold on. Ben R says, having rebuilt a real set of drum brakes, these look just as annoying to build, only smaller. Exactly. Oh, never mind. They don't have you build those. Thank God. No. Yeah, you don't have to insert the tiny springs, but I will have to paint them. But I was telling them while you were gone, if you ever rebuild brakes, because it can be real confusing, all of the springs are color coded, so you don't get them confused. So, but to go even further,
are you going to paint the colors?
I thought about it. It depends on if there's not a real brake front. Like so far, this is just the holes for where the wheels are. If I'm not mounting the wheel now and this is completely exposed until then, I can come back later and paint it. But what was I saying? Oh, no, that was not what I was thinking. I was just thinking of something and you made me forget. Oh, the bump stop. Yeah, this thing comes with a real rubber bump stop. So that's, we're making fun of the suspension and the way they drive bashing the oil pan. So that's where the thing actually will come up and hit the stop at the top of the travel of the suspension. And they have that made out of rubber. So yeah. And then I already assembled the 2 things that go on here. So it's got a quote unquote distributor right here mounted. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's for brake line. I have no idea. And then for some reason they just couldn't put this part here, the plastic bit that holds the engine. So the final step of this is not to mount the engine to it. I will, however, have the engine sitting there for the time being. Ooh, it's all scraped up. Look. It's got some scraped up paint right there. Oh no, it's pre-weathered. Okay. Okay, so this is the upper control arm. Okay, I'm just going to get the frame out of the way for right now. It's just in my way. Big giant metal thing. Which I don't know if I mentioned that. That is cast, or that is die cast. You weren't here when I pulled it out.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Okay, well, I said I didn't know. I said it was heavy, so I was making an assumption. Yeah. It has been confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting. That is somebody's thumbnail or thumbprint in it. Must steal identity. Okay, so this is more EMs. Like the more realistic this gets, the more excited I'm getting, but also the more deterred I'm becoming because I'm like, God damn it! It's like now I know exactly how complicated this thing is going to be for the rest of my life. This is, I think I counted it last time. It's like a 16 or 18 month build.
Yeah.
Like some of these
That's
months,
this is like a completely different animal from Gunpla, right?
yeah, in every conceivable way. I mean, consider this a perfect grade car model, you know? Lights, wiring, realistic stuff.
Ginormous size.
That too. It's a perfect grade. Ecto 1. I keep wanting to say EXO. Ecto. And see, yeah, so this isn't threading into the pivoting part. It's threading into the other part, and it's just going into the hole. Like, why wouldn't they just give me a pin that I could just press in there? You know? Or like a pin with a nut on the other end. You know, that would have made way more sense. Next thing,
My battery's running low. I'll be right back.
Okay, they're gonna make you want to work working e-brake. Yeah, maybe. Well, you know, Ben, I know you're fairly new to this thing. It will have a working brake pedal in the idea that you push the brake pedal and the brake lights come on. So there's already a level of insanity to this. Also, I'm going to paint something real quick, which I find funny since I saw it. All right, so you can see, yeah, this is all powder coated or spray painted matte black. And if you look, they dinged it at the factory and they tried to cover it with Sharpie. Camera's like, no, I don't want to do that. Focus, damn it. There. That's the thing right there. Covering Sharpie. What
There
are
we go.
you doing?
Power.
Okay. So
sorry, I had to plug the phone in.
It's fine. So there's our upper control arm, and now we need this part here, which mounts this way and there. So that's the next pivot point. The fact that this has real suspension on it doesn't really surprise me. But now seeing how beefy the quote unquote real suspension is, I got to wonder if the entire body will be die cast. That's going to be like a 3-pound body. What did you do? He screwed something up. I just look over and his screen is not only rotated but frozen. Oh, yep. He dropped. Might have got a phone call or something. I am uncomfortable with how hard this is to screw in. There we go. This would be a new grade of Bandai. They would just call it insane grade. IG. It's an IG. Okay. So once again, this is a pivot point. So the screws are actually acting as a pivot, not as a holding force. That's so crazy. Okay, so there's our bottom. That's our upper. Now we need to bring back the frame. I just got rid of that big ass thing. Okay, so I want it to be like this. Make sure it covers the thing you're trying to look at. Okay. So those will set inside there. Let me turn it over. And then I want HM. Those are new. Get some screws. And yep, I don't have anywhere to pour these, so I gotta keep these all separate. Need 2 of them, right? Yeah. Okay. Get it started on both sides. Guys, if you are new to the stream, make sure you say hi, because we can't see who you are. Don't know you're here. I just see new numbers pop up. And judging by the amount of screw holes that I haven't gotten to yet, there's going to be a lot of things. Okay. So there's my suspension travel. All right. And now I've got that in place. Okay. So I want this. Take the next chunk. That goes right there, right? No. Like this. I was like, that's not right. That's interesting. Okay. And that's a slot, which bothers me. Am I going to have to do an alignment on this thing? That seems like a real possibility. Okay, so I need the two tiny brackets that I saw earlier. This little guys right here, which, yep, those are die cast as well. Which, given that it's got to hold all this really important junk in place, I get that. Once again, very much like a real car. This is crazy. Okay. And wait. Oh, never mind. I should start crossing off other things. Okay. So I found out I'm in this contest with Eric. This should be interesting. Yeah, he hit me up about this new contest. I don't know anything about it. He didn't give me any details. I don't even know where it's coming from. I'm drinking a Celis White Belgian wit beer. What are you drinking? I am drinking a beer called Mini Boss. It's like a light IPA. Citra and Mosaic hops join forces in this fruity IPA to warp your senses to Aroma Land, this fifth dimension. It has been open for quite some time. It's from Eureka Heights. It's a local Houston beer. Waiting to start building Echo. I assume you mean Ecto. Just order the first issue. I'm sorry in advance for the things that you're about to have to endure. If you just joined in there, Mr. Brian Thorne, go back once the stream is over and rewatch the part about running all the spark plug wires and rethink your decision. So your phone died. Yeah, I gathered that. You just plugged it in. How did it die? So it's just going to be me. I see how it is. Hey, if you want to know what he's building, I'll tell you, Eric or Jerry. I'll even tell you the color scheme he's going with, because that's why he hit me up. He wanted ideas. I was like, also, like, I guess people are weird about telling me that they're joining other contests. I'm like, I mean, if you don't do mine to go do another one, yeah, I'll kind of be upset about that. But I mean, joining a contest after mine's over, I'm not really going to be upset. I mean, I want to know what the contest is, because I've competed in exactly one, well, I guess technically two contests. But the other one's kind of weird because it was a timed build. It wasn't a build and show up contest. So that's why I differentiate those two things. Well, if you get enough power, join back in, obviously. Is that... That's not down all the way. That is rattly, and I don't like that. Yeah, that screw's not even all the way in. Neither is that one. Okay. There's no bushings. Just gonna be metal on metal. The way it should be. What the hell? That is not getting tighter. As much as I'm turning it, it's not getting any tighter. Okay, that one's down all the way. Can't wait to try watching Imgo do and form one sees and grew up with original movies. I'm assuming there's some typos in there. It's fine. Well, I know what he's building. Well, you have to post the main kit when you enter. I think it's a frame arms girl. Oh, then that's a different contest because that's not what he got for this other contest. Or he changed his mind because he was already working on a frame arms girl. I mean, you can send me a link about the contest. I mean, if it's nothing I want to enter, then that's something. I mean, not that I need any more distractions from the shit I'm already doing, but, you know. Okay, so it's a very floppy front suspension there. Did I get the other one down all the way? Looks like it. That one screwed in fairly easy in comparison. Make sure that it's snugged up really well. That's crazy. Okay. Obviously, the next part's going to be springs and whatnot. Okay, time for brakes and wheel hub attachments. Well, Eric's kind of wishy-washy sometimes. He'll start one thing and then not like it and then go back. But, you know, if that's the thing he showed off that that's what he's really going to do, then that's fine. Obviously, can't hold it against him. Cannot remove this. Okay. Okay, so I need this. How's the Barbatos coming out? You'll find out tomorrow. Actually, now that I just thought about that, thanks for reminding me because this stream is going longer than I thought it would. I'm going to have to stay up later to finish editing that. Ah, my hand is stuck. Okay. All right, let's see here. EM. 2 for that. Do the brake hub. Okay. That goes like this. Oh, that does have a tab. Okay. I don't know why I keep second guessing on if something's going to have an alignment tab. So far, virtually everything has had alignment tabs. And yeah, this has 2 screws going through the back of it into the wheel hub. So that's very much like an actual brake. And not that it matters, but they tell you left and right. It's like, I guess if you had all of the parts together, you would have to worry about that. But we don't. Okay. That is not tight. That's so misleading because it starts getting tight before it is. It's not snug. It's not all the way down. Now I think it is. This one isn't. Now it is. Okay, cool. Do you have to adjust brake bias? That would be overkill. No. Yeah, I got the message, Jared. Obviously, I'm not going to look at it right now. Yeah, no, if you had to adjust the brake bias, that would suck. Though then again, a lot of people don't bother with that. I don't think there'd be a brake bias problem considering this is four-wheel drums. And this guy goes, of course. Is there anything for? Nope, just put it on there. Okay. See, I would also do like the things. Oh, the other thing, and they don't have brake shims. That's super unlikely. No brake shims. HPs. The fuck are HPs? England always says frame and 4 panels. Yeah, it's coming from there. I'm jealous as balls. I wish we could have gotten a lot more out front. And I guess like if you're, and this is the weird part. There's so many things that are already done. Like, just give it all. It's okay. As far as I know, they're about 3 stages ahead, maybe 2. But as I was talking to Rodimus before we started, it's starting to feel like they're stacking up a little. Like it felt like they were behind on the previous one. You know, there's a really big gap in the shipping, and then all of a sudden I get 2 or 3 notifications back to back. So part of me wonders if they're playing catch up a little bit. Okay, so that's going to be a little loose, just a little. And yeah, big center mount for the wheel. Makes sense. So yeah, there's the brake drum. That's cool. Why did they do the monthly thing? Ease of manufacturing, I guess, but also it's the newest one, so not everything is technically produced. Whereas some of the other ones are obviously a little bit older kits. Okay, so we want to use a JM. Here we go. That's a beefier screw. Makes sense. And I guess they've been doing the subscription thing for a while. So I mean, like even some of the older cars, like the Aston Martin stuff like that have been out for what's seemingly a while, are still monthly deals. Plus, easier to pay for. If you do the math, this is costing me with shipping $50 a month. And it's a 16 to 18 month process. You do the math on how much you'd have to dump. So they would either have to charge you and you pay on it until it's paid off, and then they send it to you. Which, that's kind of the Hot Toys deal if you're into figures and whatnot. Why am I looking at this wrong? I didn't assemble this upside down, did I? No, that's correct. Oh, it wanted me to flip it back over. Okay, I was confused. That makes sense. Okay, so the brakes are going to be like this. This is screwing into that, right? Right, hold on. Oh, other way. Okay. Screws through the bottom into that. That makes a lot more sense, if I'm honest. Although aligning that is going to be a pain. Basically doing the lower ball joint connection here. Because it wants to pivot there, it's going to have to attach to the bottom. Move it so I can actually access the damn thing. Is that That can't be meant to be that loose. Hold on. It's like bottomed out. Oh, maybe it is. I mean, I don't know how snug that's supposed to be, but I feel like it should be better than that. So the older kits are monthly. All of it's monthly deal. And yes, Re-Rise is coming back in 2 weeks. We are all happy about this. So we can get back to doing our reviews, which means way more work on my part. Like, I can almost guarantee that should not be as loose as it is, because that's way too loose on that. I know that's supposed to be like a pivot joint, but no, that's way too loose. Okay, yeah. Just keep going. Okay, that's bottomed out. It's a little loose, but not terrible. Feels like a really worn out ball joint, let's just be honest. Okay, springtime. No pun intended. Oh, hey. Spring. Now I'm going to tell you, I've put springs on like this before in a real vehicle. And it was a giant frickin' pain. Can you just imagine how big of a pain this is going to be? Because I bet you can't. Okay. So I have to squeeze that down. And I don't exactly have spring compressor. Where's my other... Shit. Where's my other screw? Yeah, I am. Where's my other eye? Oh, right there. Wait, did I put the... Did I put an IM in there, or did I accidentally put a JM in there? I may have put a JM in that by accident. Hold on. That would explain how loose that is. If I totally put the wrong size screw. Without looking. Oh, yeah. I totally put the wrong size screw in there. Pay attention to the things, guys. Oops. Hopefully it'll still work. I mean, it went in, so I mean, it should be a similar size screw. Damn it. Thanks for telling us. Honestly, didn't need to know that. Shit nuggets. Okay, here we go again. Oh, there's a warning for you. Make sure you pick up the right screws. Jay and I look very similar. I wasn't paying attention. But that explains why it wasn't fitting all the way. Go figure. That's a much better fit. And actually snugs up nicely. Damn, I'm stupid sometimes. Where'd that jam go? Okay. So, seat that. Nothing in particular to keep the spring from spinning. This is Eagle Moss. And once again, I hesitate to call this a kit. I've been looking at this website. It's 3 years subscription. I think last time I checked, it wasn't that many for this one. But maybe I'm wrong. Wait. Okay, now I need an IM. No, that's the same thing I already had. Okay, so back to what I was saying about how hard it's going to be to compress the spring into place. So I've got to flip this over, push down, align this about as good as I can, and insert a screw and turn it while holding tension. Is that right? Before I continue. Oh man, that is bad. That is bad. Undo. That was so wonky. Is that good? Almost. That is a tight fit, though. I don't like that. Sorry, I gotta do this off camera real quick because I can't. Loosen the bottom one ever so slightly so the wheel can turn easier. So it's supposed to have like active, like real active steering. That's going to be a pain. Yeah, see, that is not set all the way. What is that doing if it's not tightening? Okay, that's about as good as that's going to get. Gonna have to require some grease to pivot these wheels properly. Like that is it turns, but it has a lot of friction in comparison. Okay. Oh, so it does technically have a shock absorber. That's funny. If I said that earlier. Well, the reason I say it's not exactly a kit because it's. I mean, if you want to call it that, fine. I don't really consider it a kit, just by the way that it's going together. That's me. You know, you don't have to agree with me. I don't give a shit. All I know is that hurt. Like you can see the indent in my thumb. Like that is a ridiculous. Like I mean, when I say this thing has suspension, I mean it's got some suspension. Not a ton of travel. Like I can't. Oh, it does move up and down. Hold on, look. So that does do a thing. So that's there. Okay. So now I got to insert the shock absorber down the middle. Oh, Jesus, how's that supposed to line up? Did I get an HM out? No. Art piece, I guess. I mean, like, I don't consider it a kit by the way that it's going together. It's a thing you build, but that doesn't mean it's a kit. I wouldn't consider it a model so much as a replica. To me, those are two separate things. Yep. It's going to be like that. Yeah, definitely going to be like that. Okay. I have done shocks and springs on a truck before. Mind you, a mini truck. But that was a huge pain in the ass. This has been almost as equal a pain in my ass. Wow. I mean, like, that is the front end suspension of a car. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I would definitely say that this would eventually gain you the knowledge to build a real Cadillac for sure. Especially the way this is all going together. I'm trying to figure out why it comes with another bump. Seems odd. Like, it's got another bump stop. I'm trying to figure out why. I only saw the one that mattered. Yeah, it's only got the one. Let's just want to hold on to that for next time. Or that's an in case you lose it or fuck it up part, I guess. Which is always nice when they give you those. Okay. I don't know the difference here. Ah, left. Okay. So, steering rod. So, this is interesting. Okay. So, that's going to go on there like that. And since we have a power steering thing, we should probably have a power steering rack later. But honestly, I didn't figure this thing was going to have a power steering rack. But obviously it does. So there'll be a box. That's all it'll be. But we haven't gotten the actual steering section yet, so I guess that's the thing. Okay, you go in there. You go like that. I guess Rodimus didn't get a chance to come back. He doesn't like us, guys. Dang it. Okay, so doesn't seem right. That's the only way that goes on, but I mean, it feels weird. There's like a bit that sticks out right there. That's the left side, yeah. So that's right. There's just a weird bit right there. Like the way it's molded, it's really strange. That's right. Just really freaking weird. Okay, which way am I looking at this? Underside, this makes sense. Okay, gonna mount it. Oh, maybe that's where the other bump stop goes. That. Oh no, that's just using one of those weird flat screws. I mean, maybe they're also just giving me the shit for next time. I don't know. Gundam America 00. Hello. I like Subaru because it's basically the same. It's like a real life kit bash. Okay. I mean, any cars are like that. I have built kit bash cars. In the real sense and in the plastic sense. Okay, come on. Seriously? This is why I don't like screws. Come on. Not gonna lie, I really didn't anticipate all of this. It's like This has already gone on longer. I was just thinking engine parts, slap engine in the frame, good to go. Didn't expect full-on steering rack. Okay, so that is correct, like that. And that's it? That's where I leave off? Okay. Whatever. Wow. Okay. That was an adventure, if I do say so myself. So there's all that. Those are leftover bits. I'm going to take this bump stop, since I figured that's probably for the other suspension, which is coming in the next box, obviously. And I'm going to put that in with this KM screw so I don't lose it. Get in there. Get in there, buddy. I said get in there. Okay. Oh, that was an event, guys. Not going to lie. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can compact all of these into one tiny little thing. If I can fit into one of these little containers. Also, I have one really long CP screw that I have no idea where it goes. Thing is, they send you so many extra screws. Like, I guarantee you, I'm going to have like 100 leftover screws when this is done. We'll count. Eventually. Okay, so that's that. So now I have an entire engine assembly, which I'm just going to go ahead and sit in place for security's sake. So there we have that. Good God. Additional D has a whole arc about a kit bash car and it got its own spinoff. Yeah. But Ecto 1. Oh, sorry. Gundam America. I wasn't paying attention there. Yes, I've been working on the Ecto 1 build-up from Eagle Moss. This is ridiculous. Sorry, no Gundam building tonight. Working on this thing. Okay, I don't even know what's going on here. So, now that we've gotten this far, let's get all the way to the end. Oh, look at that. A lot of magazine bits here. Let's see what's coming up next. Okay. So, in issue 6, we get the right side parts. That's new. I think that's the end of the steering knuckle. I get torsion bar, what looks to be a steering box, the right side front wheel, and I'm not entirely certain what this particular bit is right here. But presumably it starts making a difference to the front of the vehicle. Wow. Okay. This was an intense night, guys. Look at that. That's crazy. Now, like I said, there might be an alignment issue with this front wheel. I want to check something. My thing is very squeaky. I apologize. So I can set that aside. So here is the left side front wheel. So that will technically bolt on right here. Don't know what, they won't even tell you what screw holds this on, so that you can't do it ahead of time. But that'll give you a good idea of how big that's going to be. But what I wanted to see was, being that that's the front of the frame, does that... No. Okay. So there's still more to go before I can mount the bumper. So that's what I was interested in, to see if that was the mounting points for the bumper. But no, it is not. So that sucks. So there's an entire like front shroud and other stuff that doesn't exist just yet. So I'm excited for the future of this. This was a pain in the butt, but you got to see me do painting up spark plugs, adding on some little detail work there for bolts and whatnot. And then, of course, watching me assemble freaking front suspension. Good God. I do wish I could temporarily bolt the engine in place. It would make me feel more comfortable if they just told me what that's supposed to be. But I hate that the friggin' bar that holds the steering rack together would just be one big thing. Hold on, I got to do this without busting everything. I do have a box I'm keeping all the parts in as I assemble this, which once we get to the main body is obviously not going to be good enough. Okay, so I got the hood covered so that nothing scratches it up. I'll put the thingy over here and we'll just drop all this into the box. I'm going to need a bigger box. Oh, that's funny. All right, put that air pocket thingy right there for the time being. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Okay, roll this back up under here. I have a mess. Like just from this last couple things, I have a big mess in here to clean up now. White walls are very nice. Okay. And now we're back to normal podcast mode. With the exception of my light that's not on. That's okay. Do you think Bandai will ever make a kit that uses this much diecast? No. Never. But I gotta go. I gotta edit out tomorrow's video real quick. Shouldn't be too long. But thanks to everybody who did join the stream. Obviously, I'm going to try to do normal Sunday streams for whatever they're going to be. From now on, I'm going to maybe do some more live streams as time goes on. If I saw the video the post the other day, I might slow down on reviews for a little while. Just take care of some stuff. But make sure you go subscribe to the secondary channel. So you can see the vlogs. Like I've got a lot going on. Like some of the things that I've done today that will continue on into tomorrow for some updates here in the cave. And of course, if you want to see all non-model building or robot forming things, that'll be that. Man, this has gone on for 3 hours. It's already longer than I thought. So, but I'll see you guys later. Come back for Master Grade Monday update tomorrow on the Barbatos MG. And of course, later in the week, there'll be other things. I don't know what just yet, but there'll be things. So I got to do a lot of reviewing. I'll see you guys later.